lesson today, Children's Church, in case you're not able to join us. Today we are going to be studying a superhero of the Bible. His name is Joshua. So we are going to start off with words you may not know. First word is minister. We use this today a lot of times to talk about pastors, but this verb actually means servant. Sorry, this noun actually means servant. Next word is forsake. It means to leave helpless. Like if there was a baby puppy and you took it and you left it on the side of the road, you would be forsaking it. Next word is meditate. It means to talk over and think about. So this isn't the that sometimes you see people do. In this verse, it's talking about to talk it over and to think about it. Next word is dismayed. This means confused with fear. Okay, so give me a good dismayed look. You're worried with fear. Oh my. And another word is host. This means company of soldiers. Okay, we're going to be starting off our reading in Joshua chapter 1, verses 1 through 18. Now, are you there? Joshua chapter 1. Get your Bibles. I know. Let's get there. Now, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto Joshua the son of Nun, Moses' servant, saying, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that I have given unto you, as I said unto Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon, even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea, toward the going down of the sun, shall be your coast. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life, as I was with Moses, so I will be with thee. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. Be strong and of good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land which I swear unto their fathers to give them. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded thee. Turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that it was written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. So don't be, let's back up there. Don't be confused with fear. Oh, I lost my spot. But the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. Then Joshua commanded the offices of the people, saying, Pass through the host, and command the people, saying, Prepare your victuals, for within 3 days ye shall pass over this Jordan, to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you to possess. So I want you to think about Moses. He divided the Red Sea, and here the people are actually going to pass over a river Jordan. So they're just passing through all kinds of water. And to the Reubenites and to the Gadites and to half the tribe of Manasseh spake Joshua, saying, Remember the word which Moses the servant of the Lord commanded you, saying, The Lord your God hath given you rest, and hath given you this land. Your wives, your little ones, and your cattle shall remain in the land which Moses gave you on this side Jordan. But ye shall pass before your brethren armed, all the mighty men of valor, and help them, until the Lord hath given your brethren rest, as he hath given you. And they also have possessed the land which the Lord your God hath given them. So this is talking about when Israel decided to cross, or when God told Israel to cross over Jordan, he wanted them to go into the land of Canaan and live there. But there were 2 tribes of Israel that said, you know what, we like this land. We'd rather just live here. So God said, well, if that's what you're choosing to do, that's fine. But you still have to send your soldiers over and help the rest of Israel conquer the land that they're going to live in before you come back with your family. Then you shall return into the land of your possession and enjoy it, which Moses the Lord's servant gave you on this side Jordan toward the sun rising. And they answered Joshua, saying, All that thou commandest us we will do, and whithersoever thou sendest us we will go, according as we hearken unto Moses in all things, so will we hearken unto thee. Only the Lord thy God be with thee, as he was with Moses. Whosoever he be that doth rebel against thy commandment, and will not hearken unto thy words, and all that thou commandest him, he shall be put to death. Only be strong and of a good courage. Then we're going to go one more verse into chapter 1. And Joshua the son of Nun sent out of Shittim 2 men to spy secretly. Okay, so we're going to stop here. And then we're going to skip down to Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. This was Joshua speaking, and we'll come back to that verse and talk about it more. But in verses 1 and 2, God tells Joshua that Moses is dead, and that he is to take the place as leader of Israel. In verses 3 and 4, God gives instructions to Joshua. What?
3 and 7.
Oh, 3 and 7. God gives instructions to Joshua to take over Canaan and to remove all of the inhabitants by force. So there were already people living there, and God said, go into the land, wipe out the people that are there, and take it over. Verses 8 through 9, God reminds Joshua that if he follows God's laws, God will protect him and the people. Verses 10 through 18, Joshua passes these instructions from God onto the people of Israel, just like a pastor receives a message from God and passes it onto the people. Hey guys! I didn't know if you'd be here, so I was recording the lesson so you can watch it on Facebook, okay? And then in chapter 2, verses 1, Joshua sends out spies to scout out Jericho. We'll learn more about these spies next week. This is the first city that Israel's going to conquer in the land of Canaan. Okay? Why did God use Joshua? We're actually going to skip over to a different chapter to understand why he used Joshua. This is going to be in Numbers chapter 13. And we're going to read a few verses. So, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers. It's the 4th book. Okay. Numbers chapter 13, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Send thou men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I gave unto the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their father shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them. And then we're going to skip down to verse 25 through 29. And they returned from searching of the land 40 days. So the Lord tells Moses, you need to get you 12 spies to go out into the land that I'm going to give you, just so they can see what it's like. So the 12 spies go out, they search and spy on the land for 40 days, and then they come back. 25 through 29. And they went and came to Moses and to Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel unto the wilderness of Paran to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them and unto all the congregations, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told them and said, We came into the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit thereof. So they actually brought back some grapes that they found, and these grapes were so big that they had to hang them over this big board that 2 men carried. So the land was so rich and fertile that the grapes were huge. And there was milk from all the animals, and there was honey from all the bees. So they're saying, this land is so awesome. Let's see. Nevertheless, so there's a but. So there's 10 spies that say, but the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled. So they're saying the people are really strong, and their cities are all surrounded and protected, and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea, by the coast of Jordan. So they're saying, it's really awesome land, but there's some really strong people there, okay? And then skip down to verse 31. But the men that went up with them said, We be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. So now they're getting even more dismayed. They have fear, and they're saying, the people are so big and strong, we can't beat them. And then skip down to chapter 14, verses 6 through 8. So we learned verses 6. And Joshua the son of Nun and Caleb the son of Jephunneh, which were of them that searched the land, rent their clothes. So there's Joshua and there's Caleb. Those are the two men that are left. And they're upset. They're so upset that they ripped their clothes. And they spake to all the company of the children of Israel, saying, the land which we passed through to search it is an exceeding good land. So they're saying it's really great. If the Lord delight in us, then he will bring us into this land and give it to us, a land which floweth with milk and honey. So what's the difference between these two men and the 10?
Two of them say God's going to give it to us, and then 10 say we're not going to feed them.
Yes, so that's the difference. So we've got the 10 men who are afraid, and we have the 2 men that are courageous, that say we can do it. If God's going to help us, we can do it. Okay? And I want you to remember this verse that we read in Joshua chapter 24. As for me and my house, this is a very famous verse that a lot of people hang on their walls. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua followed God and was very courageous as instructed by God. So there was twice mentioned when God was telling Joshua, I want you to lead the nation. God said twice, I want you to be of good courage. Okay? What was Joshua's superpower? Courage. Yes. How can you use the superpower of courage? In Joshua 1, chapter 1, verse 9, God speaks to Joshua, but I want you to close your eyes and imagine him speaking these words to you, okay? So this is what he said to Joshua, but I want you to imagine God saying this to you. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. So pretend God is saying, I'm telling you, be strong, be courageous, don't be afraid. Go where I tell you to go. Okay, you can open your eyes up. Did you hear God? You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid of the virus. We don't have to be afraid of bad weather, which I didn't even know it was going to rain today when I wrote this. You don't have to be afraid of whatever it is that scares you if you make God Lord of your life. First, you need is to ask God for his salvation. His salvation will keep you from an eternity of fear and destruction in hell. And secondly, I'm pulling this from a verse, meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written. This means study God's word so that you know how to follow him in the way he wants you to go. Be of good courage. Who is the superhero? Allegra. Joshua. What does it mean to minister, Matthias? To serve. What does it mean to forsake? We're going to get this part. Back up.
To leave helpless.
Yes. What does it mean to meditate? Allegra?
To talk over and think about.
And dismayed? Show me a dismayed face. Confused with fear. What is a host?
Company of soldiers.
Company of soldiers. Great job. Okay. And how did Joshua use his superpower? Matthias?
By being brave in front of all the people of Israel.
Yep. When 10 of the men were afraid. And how can you use the superpower of courage? Matthias?
By taking a bullet for someone else.
Okay. How can you use this spiritually? When everyone else around you is afraid,
Be brave.
be brave, and you can look to God for direction. Awesome! Okay, that is our lesson today. If you missed the first half, you can go on Facebook and watch